So, this is first video in quite a while, so I'm just going to sit and explain basically why I decided to stop uploading for a few weeks. It's kind of a mixture of things. I think it was mostly so I finished my rugby season and then I took like a week off work, so I'd have like a time off everything. Basically, I spent the time just going out drinking, trying to get that partiness if that's a word, off my chest and try to get that out of my system and everything. And I just wanted to relax. I didn't want to be thinking about anything, productivity. I just wanted time off to just do whatever I felt. I basically just lived off instinct for a week or so. Basically, I was like, went out, wake up, obviously hungover, and then eat whatever food first comes to my mind, do whatever happens, and just kind of, like, the whole kind of thing was kind of basically like seeing what it's like to be like a normal person. And that can sound derogatory and offensive to people, but that's just how it is. That's how I seen it. What it's like to just kind of go with the flow, go out the weekend, work during the week, whatever. That's kind of what it's been like the last few weeks, and just like see what that actually looks like in reality. And to be honest, it's weird. Like, it's just constant comfort, basically, constant just doing whatever you want. And I almost feel like I'm envisioning what it would be like if I was retired or something. And the whole time it just felt like job's not done. That classic saying when they're like interviewing, I can't remember, I think it was Kobe was interviewed during I think it was the NBA finals, I can't remember what year, but they went up like 3-1 in the series, and the interviewer asked him, so are you satisfied now that you're playing well? And he just looked at the camera like with that sort of like black mamba glare, and just like, job's not done. That's how I felt. And I think it was good to know that fire is there. It's not dissipated or anything, to want to achieve things and be the best at something, and to have that patience to just go in and do the work every single day to get what I want out of life, really. And it was kind of nice just living off the radar in a way where I'm not going out projecting what I'm doing all the time. I put a few Instagram stories out when I was actually out and like drinking and stuff, and that was basically it. Like, as far as the world could see out, I was just going out and drinking, and that was all I was doing, which was it's kind of nice to have that. It's almost like a protective barrier, so like I can sit and do my work with no eyes on me. It's the off season right now, so no one really expects me to be working or anything and making progress, and I don't want to sit and brag about, oh, look how much I'm doing. I'm not doing too much. I'm just making sure I'm working towards what things I want to improve on, basically, as myself as an athlete. And being able to do that without recording every single element and showcasing it kind of makes me feel a bit more manly, a bit more like grown up about the work that I'm doing. So I remember when it was during the lockdown back in 2020, when that hit, I was like out training and stuff on my own, doing like gym sessions like with whatever equipment I had, and I was going out doing run sessions at the rugby pitch just near me, and I was like showcasing it all on my private story on Snapchat. And at the time it felt like the right thing to do, and I was reconsidering doing something similar for this off season, but I feel like it would be more appropriate for me to just, for my age now, or maybe not even for my age, but for my state of mind and for the maturity that I've gained from like learning all these things. And it sounds like a flex, but it's like, listen, it's just, I've done a lot of reading and research into philosophy and everything. It is what it is. It's not something to brag about. It's just how I chose to live my life up until now. And I was thinking about starting up that private story again and posting all the times I'm out training and working and getting shit in. Now I almost just want to, like, it's almost that thing of like, put your hood up, sit, make sure nobody recognizes you, and just go to work. put this in a dramatic effect, you know what I mean? But it is that thing. I want to just go to work and not have anyone know that I'm at work. Obviously, you know now that I'm at work, but I don't want to be showcasing all that work that I'm doing. I want to almost be surprisingly quick, surprisingly big, surprisingly fit. Come pre-season, come the start of the rugby season, and I go out and I achieve what I want to achieve and try and get myself a professional contract. And I feel like doing that work when nobody's watching almost gives me a better sense of fulfillment. It's more personal and meaningful to myself. For me, it's very peaceful to be at work. Not meaning my job, just at work on my purpose, without having any eyes or visuals on me. Like today I went and done my running session and there was no one out because it was pissing it down rain, so it was just me out there. Like, it kind of gave me like a flashback to what it was like in lockdown when no one else is out and no one sees you working but you're still at it. And it almost relates to that video I done about winter, where like you gotta love winter because you're just in the dark, miserable conditions, just doing your work, getting the shit in. No one needs to know. Obviously, I'm telling you now, but I'm just offloading what I wanted to speak about why I was not uploading. Just want to try to get that off my chest a wee bit, but it's like a form of therapy, I guess. Speak to something, speak to the audience out loud and speak about it. But I don't know, it's just really satisfying to be at work with no eyes on you, doing the things you know you should be doing, but doing it to the point where you're doing it to your status. Like, nobody needs to know what I'm doing because nobody gives a fuck. Like, even one day when I'm playing for the national team, playing for Scotland, nobody needs to know the work that I'm putting in. They just see what happens, put on the show for the audience, for the crowd. And it's almost, it gives that sort of sense of mystery, which I quite like. It's that when you watch like an athlete, you watch Jordan or something pulling off all this miraculous feat, you don't see all the shit that he goes through when he's working and he's in the gym. Kobe, when he's in there at 4 a.m. putting up shots, trying to figure out the shot that he missed last night and try to do that 10 times over and doing it perfectly. Nobody gives a fuck about that apart from, like, well, obviously I give a fuck about that, but I give a fuck about when I'm doing it. Most people just want to see the end result. I'm desperate for the end result, but I know what I need to do to get there. And it just comes back to that feeling of like shocking the world when you do it. And it's more satisfying and it gives me more accountability in a strange way when I'm doing everything for myself. I'm doing all the work for myself in order to give that gift to the crowd when it comes to fruition. Not prematurely, like showing my whole journey, every exercise I'm doing, the facial expressions that are going through my mind, the thoughts that are going through my mind, the weather outside, how my body's feeling. I want it just to be simple. I do the work in silence on my own. It's my form of getting away from everything, doing what I want to do, working my ass off, hurting, sweating, bleeding, just about in tears, and then the crowd sees the result at the end of the day, and that's all they see. I like that a lot, I really do. And speaking more about all the shit I've been doing, that's basically the reason I've titled the video I Went Into Hiding. That's basically why I went into hiding. I wanted to kind of just have a bit of time off, get my shit back together after drinking so much alcohol, and then getting back into work. And to be honest, I'm loving it at the moment. Life's a bit bleak and shit. It's winter. I'm not dating at the moment. Can't really be bothered for that, to be honest with you. I'm quite content in that part of my life. Like, it's been, like I always say, I got to scratch that itch. I scratched the itch. It's out the way now. I can focus back on what's most important. And I think that's kind of the philosophy I want to carry on forward, is when I need to scratch the itch, I go and scratch the itch, and then come back to work on the Monday and I keep going because to be honest, it's the thing that gives me the most joy, is just working and towards my purpose. I can't imagine a world where I'd be happy without a purpose to work towards, and I think that's a deeply important message for young men out there, so I'm going to leave it at that. Call it a video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.